Hello, you guys. I'm Dr. Melanie Carlo, and I'm back to talk about somatics and internal rewiring to bring more peace and wholeness into our lives. And today we're going to do something different because it's a focus not just on stillness. Some of us have a hard time meditating and staying still. Others, it's really simple. But when you can bring it into the body, into a felt sense journey, going through the body's protective patterns that hold us in different ways through our lives, oftentimes not released because we don't know how to let go. And when you can approach yourself with safety and curiosity, inquiry, and you can restore flow as a felt sense, tension isn't just in your muscles then. It's something you can see as an object and something you can put down and walk away from. It's like your nervous system can learn to have the brakes and be able to stop a flow of tension that seems to take you away. So you may have tried to relax your shoulders, tried to get massages, and you just keep feeling stuck, like things keep creeping back that are tense and uncomfortable. That's because the body doesn't let go just because you decide to let go. And when I point here, I mean the conscious, outer cortical, newer part of our brain. This part is really useful for lots of higher functions, but it doesn't speak to the primitive part of the brain. That part of the nervous system, that more elemental part of the system that's driven to protect you, only lets go when it knows it's safe. And the way it knows it's safe is it has to feel safe. So whether you do this practice or any practice, if you're trying to let go of tension, becoming aware of the tension, drawing in the patterns that have become problematic for you, and then with consciousness, breath, mindfulness, letting go, gives that primitive brain the signal, oh, well, finally you're paying attention to me, and it softens. So stay with me because we're going to address those patterns, learn to meet them with awareness, movement, and then gently open into kind of an uncensored way of bringing more primitive thought forms forward. So this is going to involve journaling. And that's where your body and your story can align, and it goes to a deep level. So go ahead right now, get a pen and paper, have a timer. Most of us have phones we can time with. You're going to do a 20-minute after we do somatic work. So pen and paper, your timer, and then I'm actually going to do this seated because many of us are in sitting position when we go through this, but you can lie down if you want. So start by just settling in, comfortable position, feet on the floor if possible, and there's a reason for that. Feel the soles of your feet. Let your spine be upright, and you may sway a little bit to find that spine position where your bones are supporting you, ear over shoulder over hip. Spine upright, but soft. Undefended front, strong supported back. And let your hands rest where they feel supported. And now take a breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth with a soft sound. Do that another 2 times. Noticing your body uses tension as a protection. It's not a punishment. Chronic patterns show up usually in 3 reflexive postures. A red light posture, which collapses us in the front as the front muscles tighten. That's the kind of protection that causes an inward bracing. Then there's the ones who over-effort, the green light, go. Bracing, effort mode. The back of the muscles tighten. And then there's the trauma reflex when we've had an injury, a car accident, a broken leg, where one side of the body guards more, and that brings asymmetry and rotation usually. So let these words come in. No, these reflexes served you once. They were doing the best they can. But today they may show up long after danger has passed and be creating a chronic holding in your posture. Your posture, your breath, your habits. These are all the body's memory of safety and threat, of what happened and how it responded. When you recognize that and you can see the body's mechanisms as something trying to help you, then you don't need to force as much as learn to invite the nervous system to feel safe enough to soften. So let's work on one really powerful modality, which is to put your hands on the sides of your ribs if you can, or one hand on your low back and one hand on your front. Pick the one that's the least strain. And I want you to breathe in through your nose and imagine the breath expanding the back ribs. So you should feel your ribs widen and go backwards. We've been told a lot to do belly breathing. This takes it to another level. This is how a baby breathes, with the full hoop of the body, not just the belly. Breathing in, the low back ribs expand, space opening behind your spine. Exhale gently, maybe through your mouth with a soft sound. And as you're breathing, notice and feel the ribs soften. So you may have difficulty at first even getting your back ribs to move. That is awesome. And I really mean it. As you do these practices, when you find things that are difficult to do, that's the key to the kingdom. That's the place to go in and be very compassionate and curious. Why can't I do that? Because you have the muscles, you just haven't been using them. So, this low back rib breathing, a breath your nervous system remembers from infancy, is wide. It's expansive, it's calming. And breathe here and just notice. So the next time you feel anxiety or tension in the body, you're probably going to notice you're breathing from up here. Maybe from the belly, but it's very shallow. And just bring the attention back to low back rib breathing. Over and over again, it starts to become a common practice that you go to. Why? Because the body likes it. We like having comfort. We like having ease, and that can help. So here's another one, a very micro movement that can interrupt reflexes if they're playing in your body. So I want you to feel your seat, the two sit bones that lie underneath the pelvis. And just a very tiny amount, feeling your sit bones, I'm going to ask you to rock forward to the front of the sit bones, putting the arch in your back. And then with an exhale, pull your belly button in and rock to the back, flattening the back. Inhale forward, curve in the low back. Exhale, pull your belly button in and flatten the back. Very gentle movements, signaling the body that movement in the back and ribs can be easeful, not threatening. Stay slow and follow the breath. The slower you go, the more your conscious nervous system overrides primitive reflexes. Move just enough to feel sensation without triggering an alarm. And then pause on the front of the sit bones. And I'm going to ask you to very slowly, like a clock. Imagine if you were sitting on the face of a clock. 12 o'clock's the front. I want you to go around to 3, coming over on the right sit bone. Back to 6 on your tailbone. Over to 9. To the left side. And back to the front of the sit bones. And I want you to let your breath coordinate. Slow exhale, find your own rhythm. Back of the tailbone, over to the left, inhaling front. So you'll inhale in the front from 9 to 3, and you'll exhale from 3 through 12, back to 9. Just notice how this attention and slow, almost imperceptible movement begins to change your thought patterns. For some of you, it may actually increase a sense of tension or urgency. That's cool. That's okay. Stay with it. Pause at the front, and now exhale, go the other way, over to 9, back to 12, over to 3, and make the movement small. It should not be painful. You may notice that one sit bone almost doesn't reach down. Chances are you chronically cross your legs one way. Don't beat yourself up, don't force, just notice. Whenever we can notice, we can become the witness. And then the thing that's bothering us becomes more an object that we can see instead of what's driving your body. All right, take a deep breath to the front. Exhale and just come back to center, and now feel. Notice how sort of expanded or aware you are in the middle of your body. We're going to keep using that focused sensation to bring attention to different parts of the body, especially one that's that whole chronic tension. And here's a place that often does. Our shoulders and our jaws hold a lot of tension in our world. So bring your attention now to this area. And I'm going to ask you to shrug your shoulders very slowly up. Breathing in. Let them come up slowly and notice if they go evenly. If one goes easier than the other, come up. Doesn't have to be painful, but bring them up as high as you can comfortably and then hold it. Breathing in, feel it, maybe go a titch more, and then very slowly on an exhale, let it go. Let it melt like warm wax. And as it goes down, let the jaw soften, the molars gently part, the tongue falling heavily in the bottom of the mouth. Letting the upper body be in your awareness now. It carries so much tension. Fear tightens our shoulders and jaw. Grief collapses the chest. Just give it kindness now. Bring your shoulders forward and do the same thing. And you may notice this may be your pattern, so it's easy. Breathing up, pause. Or it may be more difficult and hard to do. Let it melt like wax. Let your jaw soften. As you soften, notice you're giving yourself permission. You're cueing the nervous system to let go. And now we're going to go to the third position, which is more a green light reflex, which may be yours, may not be. Bring the shoulders back and up. Most of us, unless you do a lot of walking and upright stuff, most of us, this one's harder. The upper body carries that tension. And if you're rounded forward chronically, those muscles in the back are always trying to help you, trying to lift you. So that was beautiful. So let's do it one more time. Let your arms relax. Let your jaw soften. And this time, try to keep the jaw soft as you inhale the arms up right through the center. Imagine even pushing down through your sit bones to lift your arms up. What would that feel like? Be curious. Breathing, and then on a soft exhale or multiple exhales. Let the upper arms relax as the shoulders come down. And then just feel the imprint in the body of letting go. Let your shoulders roll forward, cup them, and bring them up. Chronic shoulder issues, rotator cuff injuries, frozen shoulder, slowly let it down. All of it benefits from this focused attention. You may get a deep breath come in. That's perfect. The nervous system unwinding. And bring your shoulders straight back and up. I tore the rotator cuff in the shoulder and chose not to have surgery because I'm a physical therapist. I don't want to have surgery. But what I know is that when I do my hygiene, I do my shoulder hygiene, I prevent the pattern from limiting my motion. I don't have pain. I can sleep on it. It so appreciates, like a child looking for your attention. It so appreciates your focused awareness. So good job. All right. Feel now the echo in your shoulders. So we worked from the pelvis, soft, undefended belly, strong back. You worked in your jaw and your shoulders. Let's go back to the pelvis and just a very gentle, slow side to side sway. So going again like you were sitting on a clock from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. See if you can keep your body more still now that the shoulders are relaxed. Let yourself be in your center as you move just the pelvis, 9 to 3. Restoring flow, restoring awareness. An antidote to the trauma pattern of asymmetry and guarding in the body. Notice or allow your breath to deepen into the low back ribs. That's your parasympathetic nervous system engaging, appreciating your intention. Side to side, you may pull your hip up a little more and drop your other hip down. Keep breathing right through. Pause in the middle now and pull your opposite hip up. Drop the other one down and soften. And do one more each side. And you may notice that you're triggering old patterns, old tensions. Just let it come up, because as we move to journaling, the body's quiet whispers become an avenue for being listened to. Very powerful. Trauma reflex. Breathing in the low back. And now let's imagine the spine like seaweed in slow water. Tiny ripples. Maybe close your eyes and allow undulation, allow movement to happen. A softness, like your body, your spine speaking to you, guiding you. Where would it move? So if you were sitting on a clock face, you'd come through the middle. You'd go to all edges of the clock. Letting your spine have its moment of unencumbered, fascinating movement. What can you notice? The body learns not to just hold, but to feel. It's not linear. It's not rigid. You begin to own each vertebra, having a possibility, having a voice. So just allow that movement to emerge, and now bring it to a quiet stop, pausing, and just sit. And notice how this stillness feels different now that you've introduced a curiosity and a real safety. Your compassion. Takes 3 slow breaths into the low back ribs. That all systems of the body register you are here now. In the pelvis and the thighs, the buttocks, the low back and the belly. The back of the solar plexus in the front, your heart space, your shoulders, the jaw. And now we're going to shift, but only really gently, into reflection. Your body has spoken to you through breath and micro movement, because that's how bodies can speak most easily. And now we're going to give the mind-body story a chance to speak, of lifting into awareness any old patterns. And we're going to journal not for perfection, not for correctness, but for accessing truth. Accessing your truth. And I'm going to tell you at the end, I want you to rip the pages up. Don't even look at them again. That's also a way to release perfection, control, thinking you're going to use it, Don't do that. Let's begin with your timer. Go ahead and set for 20 minutes. Put your pen down on the paper and start the timer answering, what does my body feel most protective of right now? What did I notice? What would my body parts say if it could talk to me? And just write, no editing. If emotions come, welcome them. As a matter of fact, let them rant. The strong emotions you may have, let them come through and just keep writing. If nothing comes, that silence, that deadening or dullness is also information. Just keep writing. You're not writing to understand, you're writing to release stories the body cannot hold anymore on its own. Even if you're writing, I don't know what to write. Write. Let yourself really feel into, if my body knew it was completely safe to let go, what does it want me to know? Let your body speak. Let there be spaciousness. I'm going to stop talking here in a moment, but I'm going to ask you to keep writing. When your timer ends, put your hands over your chest and low back, a final breath into the back ribs, and just remind yourself, my body is my friend. It is not an enemy. It's been protecting me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's how your nervous system learns safety again. Give it thanks. Keep writing. And until next time, be gentle with yourself. These patterns are not permanent. They shift with your presence, your patience, and a felt sense of what's right inside of you. I wish you well, my friends.